Very good evening, everyone. So let's begin with our presentation session. So first we have Utsav. Are you ready with your presentation? Utsav Dhillon, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can start.
Just a second, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, I am actually rejoining. I am unable to share my screen right now. Can I rejoin and then present my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so till then we will move ahead with Manohar. Manohar.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening. So you can start your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. A very good evening to everyone. And let me introduce myself. I am Manohar, an internet hacker private limited. And today here I am to describe my experience during the research on the topic air quality monitors under the project Embedded System Engineer Internship. And I divided my presentation into these subsessions so that you can understand smoothly. First, we go with introduction, followed by need for air quality monitoring and components used in air quality monitors and different types and some practical examples, followed by conclusion and reference. Okay, first of all, air quality monitoring is a systematic procedure, and through this procedure we can measure various concentrations of the air pollutants that are present in the air and environment as well. And through this air quality monitoring we can detect some air pollutants which includes carbon monoxide, ozone, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, etc., and other air pollutants also we can include. Okay. Air quality monitoring is a crucial for nowadays because as we are in the race of placing our country in the list of developed countries, we are making new industries and new products every day. Therefore, like a coin has both sides, that similar to that, we can have a pollution on the one side and also development on the other side. And through this pollution, the many causes will affect the human lifespan. And for that, there is a role of these air quality monitors to detect the quality of the air that we are inhaling every day. And these are enables us to know the concentration of various air pollutants. And this can also enables us to analyze the environmental changes. And this can give a statistical reports of the concentrations of the air pollutants, and it can enables the higher authorities to take necessary actions for the reduction of the air pollution. And for determining various causes for diseases, it can help us in this procedure. Comes to different components used in the air quality monitors includes sensors, sampling mechanism, data logger, processor, power supply, calibration mechanism, communication module, followed by enclosure. Let's dive into these components. First of all, sensors. Sensors are nothing but the electronic components which can detect some change in the environment and responsible for the output of the other system. Sensors can detect the change in the environment or some physical change in the air and can convert that physical phenomenon into a human readable continuous voltage, and it can useful for further processing of the information. And there are plenty of sensors that we have in nowadays, and those are active and passive sensors. These are different types of sensors. First of all, active sensors is nothing but a sensor. It can have a inbuilt power supply, so that we are not bothered about giving power supply to these active sensors. On the other hand, passive sensor means the sensor which we have to give external power supply in order to work properly. Next, voltage and current sensors. These are nothing but the sensors which can detect voltage and measure the voltage in an electric circuit. Similarly, current sensor, it can measure the current in an electric circuit. And magnetic sensors can measure the magnetism or magnetic nature of the electric circuit. And capacitive sensors can sense the capacitance of the circuit. And particulate matter sensors. We have to discuss about these particulate matter. And particulate matter is nothing but small particles or droplets that are there in the air that we are inhaling every day. And some sensors are designed to detect these particulate matter, and these can be measured in terms of micrometers. And these are of two types particulate matters. Those are PM10 and PM2.5. PM10 is nothing but the particulate matter which has a diameter of 10 micrometers. On the other hand, PM2.5 means the particulate matter which has 2.5 of circumference measured in micrometers. And acoustic sensors are nothing but the sensors which can detect sound or noise levels in the environment. And on the other hand, temperature and heat sensors measures the temperature or atmospheric temperature in the air. And light and radiation sensors can work based depending upon the intensity of the light that falling on that particular sensors. And mechanical variable sensors. These are the sensors which can detect mechanical properties of the bodies. Like these are for two substances, like for solids and for fluids. For solids, we can measure mass and mass and weight and density and volume and stress and strain on that particular body, etc. These can be measured using mechanical variable sensors, and it also applied for fluids also. For fluids, we can measure flow, density, atmospheric pressure on that particular fluid, and volume of the fluid in a container, so that we like that variables we can find by using these mechanical variable sensors. And we can design a sensor which can work or which can detect any physical parameter based on the design specifications and the components that we have. And not all sensors are used in air quality monitors. There are some specialized unique sensors which can useful in our air quality monitoring, which includes particulate matter sensors, gas sensors, temperature and humidity sensors, pressure sensors, sound level meters. We discussed about particulate matter sensors. These are the sensors which can detect small particles or droplets in terms of micrometers that we are inhaling in every day. And gas sensors are nothing but which can detect some gases, which includes air pollutants also that are present in the environment. And temperature and humidity sensors are nothing but which can detect the temperature of the environment. Pressure sensors can measure the atmospheric pressure of the environment, which can be useful for further calculations and corrections of the concentrations of these air pollutants present in the environment. Sound level meters enables us to know the sound levels or noise levels that are present in the environment due to, and we can conclude some industrial activities in that particular environment by using these sound level meters. All these sensors together can build a air quality monitor sensors portion, and followed by sampling mechanism. Sampling mechanism is nothing but collecting the air samples from the environment so that we can test on that particular air samples and can conclude the quality of that particular air in a specific location or area. And there are different types of sampling mechanisms that we have based on the procedure of collection of the air samples from the environment. There is active sampling, passive sampling. This is nothing but we don't have to use a power supply in this active sampling, because inbuilt there is a power supply in this active sampling. On the other hand, passive sampling. Passive sampling means we have to give external power supply to the sampling mechanism in order to work properly. And filter based sampling means we have to use a filter in the process of collection of air samples. And impactor is nothing but a device which collide with the other object. Through these collisions, the air samples goes into the air quality monitor, so that we can check the quality of that particular collected air. And these are different types, and cascaded impactors are nothing but a mechanism which can have the cascaded connection of the collided bodies. And high volume sampling includes collection of high high volume of air samples, so that we can check the quality of the air at a time at a very high rate. Next, on the other component of the air quality monitor is data logger. It is nothing but a storage element in the air quality monitor. It can store the data which is given by the sensors. That means the air samples are goes by sampling mechanism to the sensor. The sensor can detect the concentrations of various air pollutants present in that particular air samples, and these data can be given to data logger. It can store that particular data. Like we can use registers in these data logger, and it receives data from the sensors, as we said, and it is very useful for analyzing the collected data. Like if you have stored the data, we can process it at any time that we desire, so that it plays a crucial role in the air quality monitor. Next is processor. Other component of the air quality monitor is processor. Processor is like a heart of the air quality monitor. It can act as a central computing system, like a central processing unit in the computer. It can be useful for managing data and controlling operations of the various objects in the air quality monitor. And it can execute various functionalities of the air quality monitor. Like the stored data can be given to the processor, so that it can communicate these data to the user. Therefore, we can manage that air data and can conclude the quality of the air in a particular.
Sorry to interrupt. Am I audible?
Reliability and consistency of the functionality of various components in the air quality monitoring. And enclosure is a protective casing to shield the internal components, to ensure and to remove the physical damages of the air quality monitor. Okay, this is a simple circuit of a air quality monitor. Like as I discussed earlier, this is power supply. Power supply is given to sensor to work properly, and sensor output is given to the data logger, and sampling mechanism is also there to collect the air samples, and this can be given to the sensors through these black wires. And there is calibration mechanism to ensure the functionalities of the all the other components. And there is processor. Here I used to Arduino. One can use any microcontroller or microprocessor to work the air quality monitor properly. This is a simple circuit. We can design any circuit based on the targeted air pollutants concentrations, or the to or based on the area or the time in which we are measuring And these monitors include Sensair Sunrise CO2 sensor, and these are some examples of these carbon dioxide monitors, and indoor air quality monitors. And this can be used in the indoor homes and working places, etc., to detect the amount of quality air that we are inhaling every day. And these are the air quality monitors that we have in market, and there are so many other, but I collected some of those. Okay, comes to conclusion, and these monitors provide real-time or periodic data on air quality. In present days, we have to study about this air quality monitor and to use the air quality monitor to ensure that we are inhaling the data accurately, and so that quality air. And these are the references that I took as a guide. These are some articles and books with the team. If you have any doubts, please don't hesitate to ask me.
So, are you done with your presentation? Hello, am I audible? Am I audible to you guys?
Ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, okay. So, Manohar, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, I was saying that, yeah, you have done with your presentation.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So, talking about your presentation, so your presentation was good as well as the way you presented and you maintained the flow as well. But one thing that I saw that your presentation was little simple. You can add some more relatable pictures to make it more engaging and more clear. Are you getting my
Okay,
point?
ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Rest from my side, you covered all the points, and you can since your topic was little theoretical, so what you can do, you can add some more examples as well, means real world example. The concepts you are explaining related with real world examples, so it will
Okay.
make it more engaging and informative. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so from your side, do you have any questions to ask?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, so I will provide your scores and feedback on your email.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So you can leave the meet if you don't have any more queries.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your suggestions, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So next, Utsav, you can start your presentation.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible as well as with it.
Okay, ma'am. So everyone here present over here, they might have encountered this image anywhere on the internet in their internet usage time. So basically, what we are going to talk about today is candlestick charts. Hi, good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Utsav, and today we'll be discussing about reading the CSV values into and plotting it into the candlestick charts. So first of all, let's talk about candlesticks. So candlesticks is a very important thing in trading uh, field, as it gives us the as it lets us visualize the financial data into a graphical format, and through that the traders can also basically make their financial decisions. So let us now understand why we have chosen the CSV file. So first of all, the CSV file contains very simple data, as well as it is easy to understand. And moreover, the why we chose CSV file is that it can also be compressed and it uses a lot less space comparatively to the files. like supposedly SQL tables. And moreover, CSV file is used on a global scale. So it is like a standard in the trading field. So plotting a candlestick chart through the in our program, we used multiple libraries. There are three main libraries. That is Matplotlib library, Plotly, and MPL Finance library. So basically, in our candlestick charts, we have multiple constraints. That is four main components: open, high, close, and low. So the open is the price, and the highs and lows are basically throughout the day, how high the price has gone and how low the price has gone. Basically, it's that. So, like I talked about the different libraries, Matplotlib, Plotly, and MPL Finance library. So, we have used Matplotlib and MPL Finance in our project. So, Matplotlib does is it helps us to create candlestick charts that are static, and then comes Plotly. Plotly gives us more control over our candlestick charts, and then MPL Finance is basically used for if we want to control the appearance of our candlestick charts. So let us now proceed to our demo. So ma'am, this is basically my code. This looks like this. So ma'am, I have first of all imported my pandas library as PD. Then I have already downloaded the Apple CSV file. So then I have read the CSV file into the PD constraint, and then through the like directory in where it is stored, and then we'll obviously need a range from which point we need our candlestick charge to show the range basically. So in this we'll take the starting date this and the ending date as this, and we have also created another variable called Apple data frame. So basically what it will do is take all the variables in the data range, data time range variable one by one and store it into the candlestick chart, and it will further be used in the visualization process. So through the like I specified earlier, in this part of the code, we have like just for the MPL Finance version of the like what version we are using. So the main functions comes here. We are plotting it through here. So the Apple data frame, the variable, it contains all the data. It will take it one by one and then plot it on the candlestick charts. So the type we took is as a candle. There are different types of chart. Basically, one is candlestick chart and the other is a line graph. So why we use candlestick chart is like I told earlier that it gives us a better representation of the finance sector and it is more easy to understand. So the title we take here is Apple March 2020. So it will be specified here, and the Y label it will be specified here. And the data which we have fetched from our CSV file, which we have stored in our disk, which will be converted in the CSV file. So basically, like many of us have seen, the candlesticks are basically in different colors. The standard color is green and red one. So through the FLOT, the MPL Finance library, we can change the appearance of a chart by adding the style variable through the Charles keyword. We can convert into the red and green chart. So the green part of the chart shows the bullish representation and the red is bearish. And moreover, we can also convert into this by changing the keywords that are available to us. So this was my demo. Let us continue our presentation. So the challenges I faced basically was that the libraries I was trying to import was not I was not able to import them at the first go, and they were also not being installed on my project. So what I had to do was, instead of directly installing them, I had to take a binary file and then import it. And also the talked about, the candlestick can be used in multiple finance sectors. Let it be as stocks and Nifty and crypto basically. And so this can help us visualize the financial data in a very specified manner, and it is easy to understand. And we can also like get the real time value in this through the candlestick charts. So that was it from my side. If anyone have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, so are you done with your presentation, Utsav?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your presentation was good, and I saw a lot of improvement in your presentation from the previous presentations. Okay, so one thing I would like to address, in the beginning of the presentation, you can discuss little bit about the data set that you are loading. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so that what actually that data set consists of, what are the key attributes, and what will be their functions. And
Okay, ma'am.
other than that, you can discuss about whether you will be applying any pre-processing technique, or whether that data set is already organized so as to give a accurate result, or if you don't require, just give a little brief description
Yes,
about
ma'am.
the
Okay,
data.
I got it.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Other than that, you covered everything, the challenges part and rest. Your beginning was quite good this time. Rest everything was okay. So from your side, any question do you have? Any
No,
queries?
ma'am. No question. No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So I will provide you the scores and feedback on your email.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, welcome. Okay, next, Shruti, you can start your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Today I will going to explain a topic on stock trading application task as a software development of Lifecycle for stock trading application. The contents SDLC, need of SDLC, phases of SDLC, models of SDLC, and why agile, and advantages and disadvantages, and conclusion. Here, what is SDLC? SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. SDLC is used to software industry to design, develop, and test the high quality software with highest quality and lowest cost in the shortest in time possible. And SDLC also provides the well-structured flow of pages that helps to organization to quickly produce a high-quality software. Means SDLC aims to produce a high-quality software that meets the customer exception, reaches to completion within a times and cost estimates. In some simple words, entire lifetime to software from beginning to ending. The software development of is a very long process, and therefore it requires a careful and educated and which is well tested and ready for production use. This is where SDLC comes into focus on the software development, break down the entire process life cycle of development. They are making easy to understand each and every part of software development process, and it also have requirement, and it allows you to evaluate the schedule and estimates the deliverable, and it provides the frame for standard set activities and ensure on delivery, and it next moving on to next slide, needs of the SDLC, and needs of the SDLC. Having SDLC provides the systematical design framework for build a software, and it provides a better control over each development phases of the software designing, and it also improve the client interaction with development of the software. The development team must choose the appropriate life cycle model for each strategy and then monitor it. And development of software product would not be methodical and disciplined without using precise life cycle of a model. When the team is working on the software project, team members must be monitor the progress of the project, and otherwise confusion and project failure would be a result. And entrance and text condition of the pages describe the software of the life model, and stage may only begin with stage entry, and criteria have been met. Moving on to next slide, pages of the SDLC. Here 6 pages of the software development of a life cycle. Here analysis, design and development and testing and deployment and maintenance. Here requirement, here analysis, it also for the requirement gathering and analysis. During this page, all the relevant information will be collected from customer to develop a product as per their expectation, and any ambiguous must be resolved in this page only. It contains a product owner, project manager, and business analyst and CTO, and translate into source code, and all the component software will be implemented in this page. Have development contain a front end developer and back end developer. Have testing. This testing starts once coding is complete and the models are released for testing. In this page, the developed software is tested thoroughly, and any defects found are assigned to developers to get them fixed. And it contains a solution architect and QA engineers and testers and developers. And next is a deployment. A deployment, once here is explained one by one. Waterfall model. It is a easy and linear sequential life cycle of a model, and it is very simple to understand and use. It having a phase there requirement analysis, system design, in implement testing and deployment and maintenance. Next one is the RAD model. RAD model is a rapid application development. It is based on the prototyping and iterative and model within a no specific planning. There is a spiral model. Spiral model is used to risk management, and that combines the iterative development process model with element element on the waterfall model. Next one is the incremental model. Next one is the incremental model. Here is the next incremental model is the use to build the large and complex system. And next one is the V model. V model is a project management system that develop the software and web development. And next one is the iterative model. Iterative model is used to address the new functional capabilities. And next one is the agile model. Agile is a collection of values, principles, and creatives for modeling softwares, and that can be applied on a software development project in a effective and lightweight manner. Next one is the Big Bang model. Big Bang model is the scratch in simpling. It doesn't require any planning. Next one is the why agile. Here we can choose the agile model. Why? Because agile model is the best model because it helps to ensure that development teams to complete the project on time and within a project, and it also helps improve communication between the development team and product owner. Agile development method it can help to reduce the risk associated with complex project. Agile was a creator respond to rapid changes regardless of the size of the project. After a large project that can sometimes spend more than independent starters, the agile STLC can have multiple iteration and deliver the satisfaction and end of the final iteration of the product. For example, the water model and agile model is more better than agile model is better than water model because agile is that there is a more room to change the direction as the project develops. So the budget is also subject to change. Similarly, the waterfall model is a set from start, where it's more flexible with agile and dependent on how the project develops. And agile also helps to helps the team manage work more efficiently and do the work more effectively while delivering the highest quality and product within a constraint of the budget. The benefits of the agile method are cutting the cost and time market in half while increasing the application quality and customer satisfaction. Here, moving to next slide, stages of the agile. Here, test, deploy, and feedback, and gather requirements, and design and build. Here, test container, debugging, release-based quality assurance. Deploy container, iterate, automated testing, continuous integration. Here, feedback container, issue resolution, user interaction, continuous improvement, and gather requirements, container, plan, explore, evaluate, and refine, collaborate to stakeholders buy-in. And design container, refine, collaborate to stakeholders and buy-in, and build container, iterate to develop and improve. Here, advantages of agile method. It is very realistic approach to software development, and it promotes the teamwork and cross training, and its functionality can be developed rapidly and demonstrated. Resource requirements are minimum, suitable for fixed or changing requirements. Delivers early partially working solution, and little or no planning required, and easy to manage, and gives a flexibility to developers. Next one is disadvantage. Not suitable for handling the complex dependencies, more risk of maintainability and extensibility. And overall plan, as agile leader and agile PM practice is must, without which we will not work. A strict delivery to manage dedicates the scope, functionality to deliver, and adjustment to meet the deadlines. Depends heavily customer interaction. So if customer is not clear,
See, there is any issue? I guess something has happened. Okay. Please reshare your screen.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Next one, conclusion. Agile models are based on iterative software development, and independent work model is built after compilation of iteration. Iteration should not consume more than 2 weeks to complete the code. Agile methodology invite developers to get involved in testing rather than separate a quality assurance team. Agile methodology are suitable in changing environments because of new practices principles that enable to team develop a product in a short duration. There is a reference. Is there any question?
Okay, so are you done with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so talking about your presentation, see, your presentation was good as well as your flow was also maintained. But see, it was totally theoretical. But means we basically expect that technical part should be there. Or if there is no technical part regarding your topic or your task, so try to relate it with more examples. Okay. Okay, so this is one point I feel. Other than that, you covered every aspect as it should be, like from starting to beginning, advantages, disadvantages, and all. So, from your side, do you have any questions to ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I will provide your scores and feedback on your email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, Manushri.
Ma'am, I joined already there in another meeting when Nidhi ma'am was hosting, but suddenly her connection got interrupted. Please, may I know what happened to her, or shall I join here in this meeting and continue my presentation?
Okay, give me 2 minutes. I will let you know.
Yes, ma'am.
See, guys, continue here only. If there is any update, so I will let you know on chat. Okay. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this. Yes, one more thing. Yes, Utsav, what you were saying, please. Yes, what you are saying.
I was saying that I have applied for the certificate. So is there any minimum or criteria?
Actually, not there is no minimum criteria, but if your college want some reviews from us, so you can tell us or write a mail on support@hackweather.in. Whatever is your requirement from your college, so the action will be taken according to it.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, can I apply for the certificate?
Yeah, sure, you can apply for it.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I have already applied for the certificate today in the afternoon.
So most probably you will get it tomorrow, or hope so. I guess if tomorrow not, then you will get it on Tuesday.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, please look into it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so Sanjay, you can start your presentation then. Guys, please be active in your chat as well. If there will be any update, so be ready with it.
Am I visible, ma'am?
Yes, you are visible as well as audible.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Hello. Good evening to everyone. I'm Sanjay Kumar. I'm intern at Hackweather Limited in the Department of UI Designing, and I'm here for today's presentation on the topic of user research, competitive analysis, and create information architecture for a stock market trading application. So, welcome to the trading market trading. Discover how to create an intuitive, effective trading application by conducting throughout user, researcher, and competitive analysis. So, first we have go through the unveiling insights. in the user research observations. In the observations, we have to observe their user natural trading environments to understand their behavior and pain points. In interviews, we have gain insights into their needs and motivations and challenges. And according to the survey, collect quantitative data and gather opinion on further and features and usability throughout the online surveys by the users or customers, like competitive analysis, gaining an edge. So in this, in the points are market leaders. So in market leaders, analyze the top trading applications and understand their strengths and weaknesses. So according to their weaknesses and strength, we can lead the market for the leaders. So user experience. So it is a user-friendly interface and interactive workflows to inspire app designers. So inspire app design, we have to go through the experience with the help of UX and data and news integration. In this, examine how competitors integrate real-time data and news feed to enhance decision makings. Next, information architecture, building the foundation. So in this information architecture, user-friendly navigation. The user-friendly navigation performs a main role, like designing a clear and intuitive navigation structure for easy access on the key features. Next, consistent layout. So this consistent layout, it's a logical platform of elements for smooth user interactions. And accessible data. So in this accessible data, organizing information in a way that allow users to quickly find desired stocks and related data. Creating an effective information architecture. So in creating an effective information architecture, define user persons. So and identify the understand user, your target audience preferences and decision making process. So in this, we have to understand the users preferences and what their decision makings. So map user journeys. Map user journeys in the interact your app to optimize overall experiences, user experiences. Wireframes and prototyping. Create low fidelity wireframes and interactive prototypes and testing and refine the architecture. So best practices for stock trading applications. So best practices are like a real-time updates. So the real-time updates is a best practice for a stock market application, because the real-time updates are provide very user-friendly informations, like what are the running target in the live session, and like this real-time application provides the stock prices, news, and relevant market events. Customizable watch list. So the user want to prefer something else, so we have to provide the customizable watch list for the users, so it helps to prefer their stocks for the users. And advanced charting tools. Offer comprehensive charting tools for technical analysis and decision makings. So the charting tools for technical analysis and decision makings. Secure transaction. Ensure robust security measures to protect sensitive user data and transactions. So transactions are held to very secure because the financial matters, the security takes an important role. So next, come to the conclusion and key takeaways. So insights from research. Apply instant gaining from user research and comparative analysis to inform your decisions. User-centric design. Put users at the center of your design process to create a seamless trading experiences. Effective information architecture. So you have to build an architecture that is very effective for information sharing for the users. So is there any questions regarding the presentation?
Okay, so done with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. If there are any queries, please contact me.
Okay. So if I talk about your presentation, yeah, it was point-to-point presentation, as I always expect. That is a very good point. So other than that, the way of explaining and keeping everything so accurate. So that is, I really like it. So from your side, anything you want to ask?
Is there when the technical parts, when we can get, like coding, like
means in your task?
Yes, ma'am, next tasks.
Okay, So what you can do is you can write mail on support@hackveda.in. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay, ma'am.
because basically tasks are generated by Devanshu sir. So if you
Okay, ma'am.
request it, so on your requirement, he will provide you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So I will provide your scores and feedback on your email.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
welcome. Yes. Okay. Next, Somya, you can start your presentation.
Good evening, ma'am. I was in the presentation before and I've given my full presentation, but the host left the meeting and the recording was also not there. So, should I continue here?
Oh, you already gave your presentation. So are you
Yes,
sure that
ma'am.
recording was not there?
Yes, ma'am. Recording was not there.
Okay, give me 2 minutes. I will let you know. Okay, just guys wait for 2 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Somya.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sorry, but you have to give a presentation again.
Okay, ma'am. No problem.
Yeah, you can start.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Somya Bhardwaj and I come from the exciting domain of web development. So, in my recent journey with Hackveda, I had the fantastic opportunity to dive into the creation of real-time stock market web application, where we bring the dynamic world of financial data to life. So, thanks to Hackveda, every task is not just a project; it's a step towards mastering new technologies and refining my craft. So, let's dive into the world of the project timeline and explore the fantastic realm of web development together. So in this project timeline, it is a map for a project. It shows the order of tasks and when they should happen. It also helps everyone know what needs to be done and when it should be finished. So now to understand it better, let me give you an example. So think about it as a planning a big road trip. Your project timeline is like a plan for the trip. You list all the important things you need to do, like booking hotels, figuring out the route, and deciding when to break. So each thing you need to do has a specific time. So the project helps you to stay on the track, just like a map guides you on a trip. And just like plans can change during a trip, a project timeline can also adjust if things don't go as expected. So it's like having a roadmap for successful journey throughout a project. Then coming to the contents, we have the introduction of this project, key features, the development model we have used in this project, all the technologies used in this project, the roadmap in this project, the Gantt chart, the documentation of this project, and the references used in this project, and finally the conclusion. So coming to the introduction, now before diving into the detailed timeline, let me give you a sneak peek of what's waiting for us. So imagine we are getting sail into the vast sea of stock market insight. It's like exploring a treasure trove of information that can guide us through the complex world of financial data. But before we zoom into the details, let's rewind a bit and remember our last project. We built a cool tool showing live stock data, like a digital stock market scoreboard, which was Project Synopsis. Now, think of that project as the launch pad of a new adventure. It set the stage, and now we are taking things up to notch. So, today we'll peek into how a stock market web application is built, kind of like looking at the behind the scene plan, which is creating the timeline for this project. So, think about a real time stock market data web application as your assistant in the financial world. It's like having a smart companion that keeps you updated on all the latest stock market trends, just like your phone keeps you update on the winter. So for breaking down these points, we have embarking on stock market insight. So we are starting an exciting journey to understand how stock works. It's like exploring a treasure chest full of information about money matters. Then we have React.js is our compass. So it guides that help us build our project. It's our navigation tool, making sure we go through the right direction. Then again, we have building the digital arena. We are creating a digital space for users to explore stock data. It's like building a cool online place for people interested in stocks. Then we have style authentication and shine. Now we are making our online space look great and safe. It's like decorating a room and making sure only the right people can come in. Then we have real-time data unveiled. So finally, we are turning on the magic button. Like user will see stock market information just like watching a live show. It all happens in the real time. So imagine this as your helpful assistant guiding you through the stock market using React.js, building a cool online space and making it stylish and secure and showing the live stock data. Then coming to the key features, we have four main key features, which are real-time stock market data, user authentication, easy to understand format, and responsive design. So coming to the real-time stock market data, now imagine getting updates on stock market in real time, like watching a live scoreboard of a sports match. So our application keeps you in the loop with the latest information as it happens. Then we have user authentication. Now, just like having a secret code to enter your room, our app ensures that only authorized user can access it. It's like having a personal bouncer for your financial data, keeping it safe and secure. Then we have easy to understand format. Now think of it like reading a comic strip that simply explains complex data. So an app presents stock market data in a way that's easy to understand for anyone, making financial information more accessible. Then coming to the responsive design, we have used a toy that transform into a different shape, right? So our app is just like that toy, but for the different screen. It adapts and look on any device, be it a big computer screen or say small phone screen. So now if I give you some brief timeline on this project, we have 2 months to complete this project, which is 8 weeks in total. So I'll explain you in that manner. In week first and second, we'll work on real-time stock market data and dive into the understanding on how to fetch, display live stock market data using the React.js. Then in the week 3rd and 4th, we will work on the user authentication, like set up the security features, ensuring only the right users can access the application. Then in the week 5th and 6th, we'll work on the easy to understand format. Now, focus on designing the user interaction in a way that even someone new to the stock market can easily grasp the information. Then in the last 2 weeks, which is 7th and 8th, we'll work on the responsive design, and that ensures the application looks good and works on various devices. Now, coming to the development model we have used in this project. So in this project, I've used agile model. So why agile model? Now let me break it down for you. We have first the sprint planning and backlog refinement. Now imagine we are planning short, focused burst of work, like setting mini goals. It helps us break down the big task and building our app into smaller and manageable steps. Then again, we have frequent stakeholder collaboration. It's like having a weekly chat with your best friend. Like Agile encourages constant talk with the people who matters and what are the users and stakeholders. Then we have continuous integration and testing. It pictures like assembling a puzzle. Now, once a piece at a time, and then Agile promotes regularly combining the parts of a project and testing them to make sure everything fits perfectly aligned. Then we have adaptive development and iterative improvements. Now think of it as making your pancakes. You get better with each flip. Now Agile allows us to make challenges as we go, adapting the new information and insight. It like uh, refining the recipes for success with every interaction. Then Agile is a trustworthy toolbox. It lets us plan smartly and chat frequently with the important folks, like check and recheck our progress regularly and fine tune things as we move forward. It's all about being nimble and responsive to ensure our project grows and thrive in ever changing stock market landscape. Now, as you can see in this diagram of the agile software cycle, first, we'll do a meeting with all the members, if there's any. Then we will do the planning of this project, then designing of this project, and as per the planning, and then we'll start developing the project. Now, after completing the development part, we'll do the testing of this project, and then lastly, we'll evaluate if there's any bug or issue to incorrect them. Then, coming to the technology stacks, we will have some technologies we've used in this project. So for front end, for the foundation, I've used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which lays the groundwork for user interaction. Then React.js, which builds interactive and responsive front end. Then for backend, for data management, especially, I've used MongoDB, which stores complex stock market data. And for server logic, I've used Express.js and Node.js, which handle server-side development. In the APIs, we have News API and Alpha Vantage API. These are the most important API we have used in this project so far. Then the data visualization, it creates dynamic and interactive data visualization. And the D3.js enables complex and customized data representation. Now for real-time communication, we've used WebSockets and Socket.io. Now for creating the Gantt chart of this project timeline, I've used Instagantt, which is a free platform for creating a Gantt chart for the project with many other tools. Now, coming to the deployment of the website, I've used AWS services, which host and makes the project accessible to every user. So these technologies work together to deliver a user-friendly real-time stock market web application with interactive visualization and timely information update. Now, let's dive into the timeline, which is the most important part of this presentation. Now we have got 2 months That's 8 weeks to make our real-time stock market data web application a reality. So here's the breakdown of this project. In week 1, we work on the React.js. So this is where we get friendly with React.js and we will understand its components like JSX syntax and how to manage the app state. It's like laying the foundation of our user interaction. Then coming to the second week, we will do the development environment. And that will be the time we set up our workspace. We'll install Node.js and create our React.js application. Then in week 3, we will do the styling and authentication. Now we make our application look good with CSS and SAS. And simultaneously, we'll set up the user authentication using JSON web tokens and the passport.js we've used. And coming to the week 3, we will work on the data integration and testing. We will connect our app to the Alpha Heritage API, which pulls the real-time stock market data. Then we put on the deactivate hats and tested the app using framework like Jest and Enzyme. Now coming to the week 5, we will use data visualization and error handling. So that will be the time to make our data visually appealing using Chart.js and DC.js. Then coming to the week 6, we will do the building the backend API. We shift our focus to the server side, which will insist of Node.js and Express.js that will come to the play and as we build the backend and create APIs to handle the data. Then coming to the week 7, we will use real-time update and news integration. So we will level up the real-time update using WebSockets and additionally, we will integrate the news API to the website. Now in the last week, we will use the optimization and deployment of the website. So that will be the last lab. We will optimize our application performance using techniques like code splitting and lazy loading. So there you have it, the roadmap that brings our real-time stock market data application to life in just 8 weeks. Now, coming to the Gantt chart, let's understand what actually Gantt chart is. So a Gantt chart is like a super simplified timeline for a project. Now imagine it as a visual calendar that shows up and needs what to be done and when it starts and when it finishes, right? So it's like a roadmap that helps everyone on the team see the plan and deadlines and who's doing what. So it's basically a picture that tells the story of our project and in a really clear and organized way. So the next thing is what is it used for? Now to understand it, we have 4 points which are project planning. So think of Gantt chart as your project grand map. It gives visual snapshot of all the tasks we need to do and when we are planning to tackle them. Then again, we have timeline visualization, and in that we will imagine the Gantt chart as a superhero timeline. It paints a clear picture and when each task starts and finishes. Then in the third point, we have task dependency management. So the Gantt chart is a master storyteller. It illustrates how different tasks and depends on each other. Then we have progress tracking. So it pictures the Gantt chart as a project personal trainer. It keeps tabs on how we are doing. So in a nutshell, a Gantt chart is a magical tool that turns project planning into a visual adventure. And it also helps us see, understand, and navigate our project journey with ease. So now let me walk you through the Gantt chart I've made. This is the Gantt chart I've made for this project timeline. So now if you are a new user and you are not familiar with this website, it is called instagantt.com. You can create an account in this and work on so many technologies like creating a Gantt chart, table, board, workload, and all other features as well. Now let's say if you want to invite a member Like you have a team and you invite all the members to your team so that they can see all the tasks and understand what timeline is. So you can click on this button and enter their email address and their username so that they can get the invitation and add it in the project you have just built. So this is the timeline I've created. Firstly, it will start from 16th November till it will goes to 15th January, which will be 2 months, which consists of 8 weeks. So accordingly, I've used the introduction to Chart.js. Then the next task will be setting up the developer's environment. Then the next task will be styling the application and so on. And lastly, we will have this testing and reviewing, which will of 5 days, which is the most important thing which uh, every person can do while working on this project, so that the user won't have any issue while they're using the application, right? So you don't want anyone to have an issue when you have just deployed the website. Now, if your member wants to know what the specific task is, like pulling data from APIs, so we have a small description. They can read out this description and know what this task actually is and what we need to do in this specific task. Then similarly for styling the application, say we have a description, we will have a CSS and SAS in this, and all the description like UI UX designing. So if a member wants to know that what specific task needs to be done and how it is to be done, they can go to the task and go through the description we have provided so they can understand it better. Now, if you're new to this website, let me provide you some demonstration. Like you can add task, a new task here, like say creating the UI design. And just type down the UI design and click on the enter. The task will be here. So you can just add it anywhere you want. Like from our project will be completed from 16, right? So you can just drag it over here and you can see there this line which shows that it will from work from 17th to 22. So any member can just click on this and know that till when to when they need to complete the task we have provided. Then coming to back to the presentation, we have the documentation of this project. So now let me quickly walk you through the documentation I've written. This is the documentation for real-time stock market web application, which is a project timeline. So in the table of content, we have overview and purpose. We have objective. We have key features, technologies, project timeline, working of application, challenges, and the conclusion. So in this, we have overview and purpose. We have quite few points, which consist of all the overviews. Then we have the objectives like clarity and understanding, knowledge transfer, resource for development, user guidance, and so on. Then coming to the key features of this project, we will mainly have 4 key features, which are real-time stock market data, user authentication and security, user-friendly format, and responsive design. These 4 are the main points, but we've also added some other points to make the project more efficient and look good. So these are quite few points. Then coming to the technologies, this is the brief introduction on what technologies we'll be working on and in what components we'll work with what technology. So these are for all the technologies. Then coming to the project timeline. Now this section will help each and every member to understand better that in week 1, we need to complete all these tasks. Then in week 3, we need to complete all these tasks and so on. Then we in the second month, we will also have 4 weeks and the task we have provided in this. Then we will have a small conclusion. Now we will have a working of application, like how a user can go through all the components we have embedded in the website, like user authentication, real-time data retrieval, data presentation on front end, search functionality, and so on. Then coming to the challenges, we have also added some real life challenges that we can face while working on this project, right? Like real-time data integration, we might have a challenge. Let's say pulling a real-time stock market data from external APIs can be complex. And we have also provided the solution, like thoroughly understand and optimize the integration with the Alpha Vantage API. And for, let's say, a next challenge for user authentication and security, we might have this challenge, and we have also provided the solution for that. And similarly, we have provided quite scenarios in which we might face some problems and as well as the solution. Then coming to the conclusion, we have some key achievements over here. Then some updates that we might do in future, and the acknowledgement to all the stakeholders and the users as well. Now, coming back to the presentation, we will have the conclusion of the project. So let's wrap up our journey into the world of our real-time stock market data web application. And let's talk about a real-life challenge we might face. So imagine if we encounter some unexpected delay and maybe a few bumps on our project. So what does that mean? Now, well, if our app take longer to launch, it could affect investors, right? So they might miss out on important real-time data, like making their decision a bit trickier. So for that as well, we have a plan. So we are committed to keeping the communication lines open wide. So if there's any delay, we will still keep our stakeholders into the loop. Like we might even roll out some functionalities early to ease the waiting game, right? So the lesson we have learned from this project, it teaches us a valuable lesson, which is being adaptable in key is our project for a journey. So life happens and project might not always go as planned, but guess what? We have already planned some scenarios which will help in making the project faster. So that coming to the nutshell, now to sum it up, our commitment isn't just about meeting the timelines. No one just want that. So it's about delivering something truly valuable for investors, even if we face unexpected challenges. Our adaptability and dedication is to get better every day and make our real-time stock market data web application a success. So here we have some references we've used in this project. Now coming to the references, for React.js, we have used legacy React.js, which is the original documentation. Now for Gantt chart, I have used Instagan documentation to understand what is Gantt chart and how to build a Gantt chart if you are a new user. Then for APIs, we have used contempt.com documentation, and for AWS and how to launch our website on for the users, we have used amazon.com documentation. So I'm done with my presentation. If you might have any question, you can mail at the mentioned email address, or you can just pitch on it. So thank you, ma'am. I'm done with my presentation.
Okay, so I guess it was a project timeline.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you gave a quite detailed presentation. I hope you are clear with the picture that what in the upcoming weeks you are going to do. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I hope you will wrap up with a good end product by building a website.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so from your side, any queries you have?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm facing a problem in this intern tracker, and the problem is I have given 3 presentations till now, but in this task progress, it only showing 2 things as completed. It's not showing intraday trading for beginners here.
Oh, okay, no problem. It will get update. Don't worry about it. Okay. See, you
Okay,
have
ma'am.
given the presentation and you have received your score for the presentation you have given.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. It will update. Rest, you go ahead with your task.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So I will provide your scores and feedback on your email.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So Kushal, you can start your presentation.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes. Yes, Kushal.
Yes, ma'am. I am actually out of town, ma'am.
Okay.
I come for just to tell you that I will present on 21st. Is it okay, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Let me see on what is the day on 21st.
It's Tuesday,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
sure. You can go ahead on
yeah.
21st.
So sorry, ma'am, for the delay. I am out of town. Yeah,
Okay, no problem.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Satendra, do you also want to give a presentation? Satendra?
Ma'am, my screen is visible.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you can start. You can turn on your camera as well.
Yes, ma'am. Am I visible?
Yeah, you are visible.
Okay. Ma'am, this is my task 4, and this is about the plotting line chart and with moving averages volume indicator for Bank of Baroda stock data. And I suggest my app name ProfitX. It is a stock trading application. I am Satendra Yadav from Java group, and my email ID is mentioned here. So here it is the content of today's agenda: introduction, technologies and libraries I used in it, and implementation and coding and output, conclusions and references I used to plot a chart for the CSV file. Today I'm excited to share with you comprehensive analysis of financial and data using the Java programming language. We will diving into the CSV data, parsing it using Java libraries like OpenCSV, and we have the two option here, the OpenCSV and Apache, and also we can parse the data by using the built-in functions which is in Java, and visualizing key insights through a line charts, all data, and our analysis include plotting closing prices over the time, calculating moving averages, and incorporating volume indicator to provide a view. Hence, uh, before I go presentation, I talk about the what the line chart. Line chart is a type of graph that display information using a series of data points called markers like that, and connected by straight line segments. It particularly useful for showing the trend and variations over a continuous interval or time spans. And here the horizontal um, axis typically represent the independent variable, while the vertical axis represent the dependent variable. So x-axis always the like time stamps like that, and here I use in project we stock price of closing day by day, and I also use the bar chart for the representing the volume of the stock data. And what is a bar chart? A bar chart is a graphical representation of data in which rectangular bars are used to represent the value of different categories, and the length of the bars are proportional to value they represent. And var chart effective for comparing the qualitative or size different group of or categories. And the horizontal axis usually represent the categories, and the vertex represent the values. So I use the bar chart in my application for represent the volume. So what I choose technologies and libraries for creating these charts. I use chart.js. It is a JavaScript library that enable the creation of interactive and visually appealing charts. And it is basically used for the graphs for web applications. And we have a also option in Java jfree charts, but it is not better for front end interactive interface. uh, the standalone applications are created by using the jframe or jfree charts. And I use the OpenCSV library for parsing the data from CSV file in Java. And I also tell about the OpenCSV file parsing method in my previous presentations. So now we talk ahead. So how I create the presentation. So sorry, how I create the project. So these are the implementation of all these steps. Firstly, I created the Maven project, and second, I add the dependency like OpenCSV and Chart.js. I also use the JSON for parsing the data, because when we use the different technologies in our project like Java and JavaScript, we need to the parse the data in JSON. We create the JSON object to share the information between two technologies. So we need use the open JSON. And I also create the poser classes for stock and import the necessary packages and data members, getter, setters, methods. And I created DAO classes for define the methods and handle exception handling. And also I create the JSP page for all design and front end. So, and like that. So these are the important files, DAO and POSO and JSP file. And these are the output of my project. So now we run the project. Okay. So it is, I created in it Eclipse. So these are the structure of my program. And these are the POSO classes. And this is chart.jsp. And this is my project. I run from this, I deploy on the server and finish. So CSV file given by the Hagveda I used in it. It is a data of the Bank of Baroda, historical data of stock. These are the table I parsing through the open CSV file, and it is average prices and total volume. The today's agenda is chart of these data. The chart is that. Click on the chart button. So it create the chart. In chart, I use the chart.js library I told previously. So these are the stock prices, and this is the time interval. And if you hover and particular time, these are the detail indicate date and moving average prices. And I also use the legend in it. This is the legend, and this is the index naming and time intervals and closing parsing. And this is the volume indicator. I used bar chart in it. These are the volumes, and this is the time interval. And if you hover and chart, and this is the define the information the particular day. So this is all my project, and now we go on further slides. So this is the my output, and conclusion. We completed a data analysis project using Java programming language, where we utilize libraries such as OpenCSV to parse and extract essential columns for closing the prices and volume from the provided CSV. And we also found the moving averages and created bar chart of the volume according to timestamp. And additionally, we used the chart.js library to create a visualization. And these are the references which I used. And if you have any question, so please ask me.
Okay, so are you done with your presentation, Satendra?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so talking about your presentation, it was quite good, as you always go with a good flow. So
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a question that can the trend lines can cross the candlestick patterns? Can they pass through the candlestick patterns?
Sorry, ma'am. Please repeat the question.
The trend lines that we usually draw, so can they pass through the candlestick patterns?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think you are not confident while giving answer. You can explore more about it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I will read about it.
Yeah, sure. So
Yes.
rest everything was quite good. So any question, any queries you have?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. So I will provide your response and feedback on your email.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Can I leave it?
Yeah, you can leave.
Okay.
So we are not left with any more interns. So we wrap up our session. Thank you so much, everyone.